1 week ago, I made a video about iPod Touch 7 rumors saying that it very well could happen, and here we are exactly 7 days later, and it happened. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it this soon, but we do have a new iPod Touch. So hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today we're going to be looking at the new iPod Touch. While I don't technically have my hands on it, it's so little different, I definitely can talk about whether or not it's worth buying. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First off, the iPod Touch 7 is exactly the same as the iPod Touch 6, except it has the A10 Fusion chip. That's about it. It's really not any different other than that as far as I can tell. I would imagine it probably has 2 gigs of RAM now. If it has the A10, that's pretty likely. And this might seem like a fairly small upgrade, but to be fair, the A10 is so much better than the processor that was in the iPod Touch, and it's going to feel way faster. Plus, you're adding about probably 2 years of support, if not maybe a little longer, so this iPod Touch isn't actually a bad pickup, especially at only $200. Like, it's really hard to argue with only $200. There's also a 256GB option, which I don't think was available before, for $400, which is a lot of money for an iPod Touch, but I mean, that is a lot of space too. As far as I can tell, this iPod really isn't all that different. I'm especially disappointed with no Touch ID. Same old home button, you have to put in a passcode like you would have, I don't know, 6 years ago. There's no difference in the camera as far as I can tell. The specs are all the same. We'll see if pictures actually do look better than the iPod 6, because that's one of its weakest points, but yeah, camera specs are pretty much the same. 8 megapixel rear sensor and 1.2 megapixel front sensor. That's not good. It's pretty bad, honestly, especially the front-facing camera. An iPod Touch is going to be mostly marketed towards, you know, younger people, and younger people like to take photos of themselves with a selfie camera, and so I think Apple should have bumped it up to at least 5 megapixels, but they didn't. And again, at a price of $200, I'm not super surprised that they didn't. In my rumors video, I talked about how Apple would probably spike the price if they added the nicer features like the A12 chipset, the better cameras, etc. And then I also said, I'm just gonna say I called it, they might just give it an A10 chipset and call it a day, similar to what the 2018 iPad is packing, and they're still selling that totally fine. So, I mean, this is a budget device. It's for people who either want a device to hold all their music. There's still a headphone jack, and that's a huge plus. If they had redesigned the iPod like some people wanted. I mean, it's an iPod, but that headphone jack could have very well been gone. The colors are all like exactly the same. Again, this is really for someone who wants a device just for music, maybe for in the car, or for children. This is really going to be probably a great device for kids. It's so much faster now. This is really something that if your kid wants a phone, maybe they're 10, 11, 12, and you don't want to get them an actual iPhone because iPhones are ridiculously expensive nowadays, this is the device to get them because it's going to be able to do almost everything an iPhone could, and it's only $200. You know, this is a perfect birthday gift, Christmas gift, that kind of thing. There's really not a lot to complain about here, and because it has the A10 chipset, it's compatible with basically everything Apple has right now, from ARKit to group FaceTime to pretty much everything. This really does breathe new life into the iPod, even if I wished it had a better redesign, and I would be very surprised if we see another upgrade to this device in the future. If we do, I think it would have to be a bigger one, because they can't just keep prolonging its life like this. The 2015 upgrade to this iPod, which was the last time it was upgraded, by the way, in case you didn't know, so 4 years ago, almost exactly 4 years ago actually, that iPod really didn't change much except for the colors, but we did see increases in the camera, of course the processor, and so on. This device really is only the processor, and that's fine. It could have been worse. They could have just discontinued it altogether, but they didn't. And so, is this iPod worth buying? Absolutely, if you have a young child that you want to give it to, or if you want a device just for music. There's really not much room to complain here. For a while I was saying don't get an iPod Touch, look for like an iPhone SE. That's no longer the case. This is only $200 and it has the A10, which is better than the iPhone SE, although the camera is going to be worse. So overall, for what it is, if you were interested in an iPod Touch in the first place, it's something I would recommend. That being said, sorry if I sound tired. I am. I just woke up a bit ago. I was not expecting this today, but I'm out of school now, so lots of new videos coming out soon. That being said, if you found this video helpful or interesting, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. You can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram if you'd like to at 91_tech. And with that all being said, I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and I will see you all next time.